Hello. I guess we're live now. Hey, everybody, it's Merlin here, and I don't know if anybody's going to see this because it's really late. But, well, funny thing, I had a day off, but of course, I was exhausted because I didn't actually sleep very well, so I had to get up early on top of that, and I ended up sleeping through the middle of my day. So, of course, now it's really late. I'm awake, and sleep cycle's all messed up, and what the heck? I'll do a stream and I don't know, talk about some stuff for a while, I guess. And I have one viewer, so feel free to send in some questions, spread it around if you think anybody wants to join in. We could talk about some stuff. But I guess I don't really have a specific plan for this. I kind of just wanted to start off kind of just complaining about something because that's always fun. But Watch Mojo. Now, I don't know. I think I've talked about it before, and I guess it's kind of long overdue, but I've been seeing a lot more of their videos lately have been anime related. I don't know if you guys have noticed. It might be a backlash to people complaining about Watch Mojo so much that I think that there's somebody on their staff that is really trying to pander to the audience more, because if there's a place where people can really discuss things freely that can't discuss anywhere else, it's probably anime on the internet. And I think Watch Mojo is taking advantage of that because, I mean, they do get plenty of views for those things, and it's specific enough. I don't know if they're trying to just irritate people, because in all honesty, we all know that a lot of their top 10 lists are ridiculous anyway, and it's all based on their polls, and that kind of goes into another issue with Watch Mojo specifically. But I'm not entirely sure if all their videos are meant to irritate people. I think it's just that they're pandering. They're specifically pandering and just doing the most basic stuff. Like, okay, you do a top 10 list of, like, the top 10 anime wars. I'm like, okay, there's going to be some good ones on there. But then again, how many giant epic wars are there in anime to begin with? I mean, there's probably more than 10, but, a big series of renown that people would know about. I don't know. It's just an example. And I think, Watch Mojo. I saw this one guy do a video on it once where he was expressing why he hated Watch Mojo so much. To be fair, I don't think I can really do much better, but it's just the fact that they pump out these top 10 videos about generic topics about everything just for the sake of doing them. And I like a good top 10 list as much as the next person. I don't mind the fact that they do that. The thing that irritates me the most about Watch Mojo is that their top 10 lists are so devoid of passion. It's so obvious that they're doing it just for the money, just for the views. There's no personality to it. And there's not even that good research, as we all know when we were complaining about those anime videos over the last couple of years, because it's obvious that the person who actually researches the video has no correlation with the person that writes the script or the individual who reads these things. I mean, even in the newest ones, it's like, some of the things that irritated me the most were, like, when they obviously mispronouncing a character's name. Luffy, Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, obviously you've never watched a single iota of the show, and yet you're putting this official top 10 list together, which was obviously rushed out without very little thought put into it. And obviously they can take polls, and it is based, expressing people's opinions, which is fine, but they're doing it purely to just regurgitate stuff back to us that we know already, just for the sake of seeming official. I mean, when it's really not. And and it's really obvious too, because if you can pop out like multiple top 10 lists in a day, you obviously have a staff of people working on it just to do it. It's no fun, no passion, no real opinion from Watch Mojo specifically. And I mean, that's really what the most painful thing about Watch Mojo really is, I think, is that's just lacking, I think, that very general idea. And you can't really touch what they're saying. And so many people will think of them as an authority because they seem so professional. And don't get me wrong, on first glance, they do have that appearance. But if you look into it specifically, you're like, wow, these people don't really care about what they're talking about, and they don't care about the people that they're discussing it with. It's terrible. It's really, really terrible. But yeah, it's always fun to complain about Watch Mojo, right? Oh man. Let's see. What's another thing I wanted to kind of complain about? Well, since I don't have anybody talking, and I doubt that I'll have anybody, I wanted to actually complain about this too, because I was going to do a video on it. I was, but and maybe I still will, but whatever. I got to fill time as it is. Okay. Now, I think that this year is going to be a pretty big year for anime and manga because, as Bankai put it out a couple months ago, I mean, you've got The Gray Man getting a continuation. I mean, you've got more JoJo on the way. Obviously, you got Part 4 coming out. New Berserk, which people are going crazy about, which is awesome. And you have Attack on Titan, which was recently delayed, but I think it's still probably coming out. And regardless, it's going to come out anyway. And I kind of wanted to discuss Attack on Titan, and I want to start off before I go on this little tirade that I don't hate Attack on Titan. I actually thought it was an enjoyable show for the most part, and I got really caught up in the hype with it, like a lot of people did originally, and it's understandable. But as with anything, when you have enough time to reflect on it and let things simmer for a while, and enough time goes by, you begin to notice things. And first of all, I haven't read the manga too much past the anime anyway, but I know some of the stuff that happens, and I won't go into too many details. Hey, Shot, what's up, man? You're the one person watching me right now, so send me some questions so I can talk to somebody as opposed to myself. But I'm gonna finish this rant first. Like and spread the video around, man. But what was it? Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, taking apart the fact that I don't really like some of the questionable things like you find out the wall, is like made of titans. Spoilers, whatever, and all that stuff. I just at that point when I heard that, I was like, come on, that's ridiculous. But even taking that aside, just judging the anime based on itself, based upon my limited knowledge of it, I noticed a couple big issues. And I think my problem with Attack on Titan is actually an issue that I've had with a lot of series that kind of follow the same route. And I think Bleach comes to mind, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I hate it when series squander their potential. And I think Zoro mentioned something like that once. But with Attack on Titan, the thing that really captivated me about it, like a lot of people, was the originality of the execution of the storyline. I mean, you had these individuals who were basically normal people. They were normal humans with amazing capabilities and this really interesting technology who had to go up and fight against these giant monsters. I mean, that is amazing. And when I saw Attack on Titan originally, it really, really blew my mind. I thought that was really something unique. And I mean, you had a shonen story about people, just people having to push themselves to their limit for survival and manage to take on these monsters with this very limited possibility of victory. I mean, there was so much tension there, and the main character, Eren, was relatively a normal kid who just had a extreme grudge, a sense of vengeance that he wanted to take upon the Titans because they basically destroyed his family, and he's been living in fear of them his whole life. He's like, I will kill all the Titans, and that was so intriguing to begin with. I'm like, wow, this is a shonen story with essentially a normal kid. I mean, he might be, obviously above average in some areas because he's the hero, but he doesn't have any superpowers. He doesn't have any ridiculous tirades, and he's just a normal kid going against these giant monsters, and that is awesome. That is so much tension that, no other shonen series really has, because everybody always has a certain power base to, go along with their theme and keep everybody on the same playing field. But that was something so awesome about it. And then when the season, or really, I guess the series in general, just really took a significant nosedive for me in terms of interest and originality was when he, obviously haven't seen spoilers, when Eren reveals that, he is a Titan. He could transform into it. And while admittedly that was a great reveal, in terms of the dramatic tension it caused and certainly added an element of mystery, which in and of itself was fine, I think it automatically cheated the series of some of the tension that it automatically had, because though it took in that direction, essentially what did this mean? Eren basically went Super Saiyan. And we're going back to the same kind of problem that plagued a lot of these shonen series. And it essentially became much more of a battle shonen in which the main character has to go and fight these different Titans, and he transforms into a Titan form, and then he may get another level of Titan form. And okay, so he's just another kid with a superpower. And all right, fine. I thought that was an interesting direction to take, and I think it did sabotage the tension level. But okay, he's the one kid that can do this. There's a mystery there, something involving with his parents. Let's find out. Okay. Not 100% happy with how it affects the atmosphere, but it is an interesting direction for the story. Fine. He's the one kid that can do this. And guess what? Following along, one of the big issues with Dragon Ball, guess what? Pretty much every other character can do this. Several of these human characters, they can become Titans. And then it's a mystery of who is the Titan, who's not. It reminds me of Battlestar Galactica when, who's a Cylon? Spoilers about Battlestar Galactica. Everybody's a Cylon. I'm not really exaggerating, and that it's talking about playing something that's really interesting and just overdoing it so overzealously. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And Attack on Titan, that just irritated me to no end because, like I said, that the cool thing about it was these normal people, these human beings who have to fight against these giant monsters, and then okay, they can all turn into them, and the big reveal about who's really won is pretty obvious because a friend of mine once joked about it a couple years ago. You can tell who character is a Titan by looking at their hair because the hair remains the same all the time. So yeah, that was another issue is that everybody can become a Titan, right? Or a lot of people can. And yes, you have these giant monster battles, and that's cool. But once again, the tension factor is significantly reduced. And don't get me wrong, I am excited about more Attack on Titan, but I'm not as excited about it as I once was because I think the series, well, we've talked about it. It's pretty obvious that because the series was such a big hit, the authors were like, all right, well, we're going to extend this. And you can even tell within the first season the story probably should have been wrapped up by the end. I think even 26 episodes was a bit long for it, but who knows? We'll probably get a bunch of seasons. And I just think that Attack on Titan was not meant to be this big adventure, battle shonen, which is essentially what it's become. And I know that those are popular, but there are so many other shows that can take that place, that can serve that function. And I don't know. And I think that the reason why Attack on Titan really, really was a big hit and still is a big hit for a lot of people is because of the execution and the uniqueness of the style. I mean, in terms of the animation and the music, the presentation of it was beautiful. And the uniqueness and the setting of this dystopian world and that tension that I mentioned before really does give Attack on Titan some really valuable assets. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to live up to the potential. I'm not trying to be negative, but, when you're limited on things to talk about, I think got to keep yourself energetic, and with anger, that's helpful. And speaking of which, let's talk about Bleach again, because you guys know how much I feel about Bleach. I won't harp on this too much longer, but Bleach is another show that, I'm not saying it was bad that it was a battle shonen. I think that Bleach was fine as a battle shonen, but much like early Yu Yu Hakusho, I think that the spirit detective kind of element, the mystery element, and just some of the drama and the moral and ethical and philosophical discussions that occurred in Bleach early on were really awesome. And it's funny because Bleach early on was kind of considered to be the thinking man's shonen battle series. It really was. Think about that now. In comparison to what it was, I mean, Bleach is practically nothing, unfortunately. But those early episodes were just so dark and interesting, and the hollows with the horror elements. I mean, it was so interesting. And then it just becomes kind of a generic, battle show. And admittedly, with an epic scale, but it gets drawn out. And you guys know the story. But that's just another example of a show that, I really did love Bleach at one time. And there's a part of me that still does love the early stuff. I mean, I still would recommend that people check out Bleach, but I mean, unless you're really willing to get seriously invested in it, you probably should just watch them rescue Rukia, and then after that, you're pretty much good to go. But yeah, enough talking about things. Let's see if my buddy Shot Red asked anything. Oh gosh, there's people here. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, okay. Now I'll read your questions. What's my friend's view on AOT? The one that I was talking about. That would be Marcos, who was a buddy I worked at when I was working at a pizza place a couple of years ago. I think he liked Attack on Titan, if I remember correctly. I remember we used to talk about anime and stuff. He was really more of a One Piece, and I think he was also into Toriko as well. But yeah, he liked Attack on Titan, I believe. Yeah, exactly. Bleach is, like the aspects of the series that are so intriguing initially are really you can see the potential of like these series. They can take the battle shonen formula or just the adventure shonen formula and advance it, kind of like Fullmetal Alchemist. Not to talk about that for the 20,000th time, but seriously, took the basic aspect of the story and expanded on it and made it much more complicated and interesting. Not all shonen shows have to be quite so basic and repetitive and safe. Like Hunter x Hunter, they can expand on things. And I think that Bleach had the potential to do that. I think Attack on Titan has a little more going on than a lot of those shows, but it's still kind of following that formula, and I don't think it was originally meant to be that. Can you do a dramatic reading on Cruel Angel Thesis? I guess I can look it up. Hold on. I don't know what this is. Let me look into it first, then I'll find out. Let's see. Cruel Angels Thesis lyrics. Okay. Oh, for Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay. Wait. Oh, I can do that. I'll tell you what. I will do an official video for that. Um, Actually, I feel like that's the only time people give me requests anymore is when I'm doing a live stream. Like, but that's fine. Yeah, I can do that. I'll tell you what. I will. If I can find an English translation. Ooh, da, da, da. Is that one? Da, 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 da. Yeah. Wait. Wait a minute. Which one's the real one? Oh boy, like a cruel angel's thesis. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Sure. No problem. I always really liked the Evangelion opening, but it's kind of funny. There seems to be an ongoing theme with anime because it's like this big type of medium that's constantly produced. You guys ever notice that like pretty much every anime opening ever is produced by like some kind of a pop rock Japanese band or something? Like every time. I think that the music industry in Japan and the animation industry must be deeply intertwined because there's so much music that's used to market it and promote the bands through the series because no matter how unfitting it is for the particular show, the openings are always so thematically off. Like Evangelion, for instance, like it's a really awesome opening that gets you hyped up. It's fast and it's fun and it's upbeat. But Evangelion is such a dark, bleak show. It's like, if you didn't know anything about the series, like, oh, this seems pretty cool. This would be a fun little show about a kid, and giant robots fighting aliens, like all these Gundams are, right? Right? Like all these mech shows. And then you watch it, you're like, wow, I'm so depressed. Yeah. No, but I'll do a dramatic reading of that. That's fine. I didn't know the name of it actually. I just always knew it as the awesome Evangelion opening. Do you think Batman vs Superman deserved a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes? Well, let me answer your question with okay, a little explanation of the Rotten Tomatoes system. Don't get so caught up in the rating of Rotten Tomatoes because Rotten Tomatoes is really good at determining the general consensus. I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it, but it's really good at determining the general consensus of how people feel about a certain movie. Now, remember, the 29% means that 29% of the people that voted on Rotten Tomatoes, basically 29% of the audience, or critics specifically, thought that it was good. So the majority of people thought that it was a bad movie. However, if you look at the popcorn, which just judges, the general audience feedback, it was actually in the 70%. So a lot more people, that weren't professional critics thought that it was, at least okay, which means that, more people kind of enjoyed it than you let on. It's just that critics are hammering it. Now, personally, I don't think Batman versus Superman was great necessarily. I think that it definitely has a lot of problems. However, I do not think that I don't think that it deserves to get as much of backlash as it has been getting because I think people went into it with different expectations of what kind of movie it was, and you just kind of accept it as doing a different thing and being an entirely different type of superhero film. But no, I think 29% probably doesn't reflect it accurately. To answer your question in a less long-winded way. Oh, well, which version are you talking about? In the new one, everybody was an Cylon, LOL. Oh, all right. Look, the what I'm joking about is there was this one episode where they kind of confront these different people and they say, oh, which one of these people, could be a Cylon, and like four of the main characters turned out to be Cylon secret agents or whatever, and I'm like, well, that's like half the cast. No, in the original one, the thing I liked about the old school Battlestar Galactica is they saved that whole idea of the Cylons pretending to be humans, Terminator style, to like the real end of the show, to like the 1981. In the first episode of the new series, they lead with boom, Cylons look like humans. I mean, we could have built that up, and that would have once again been so much tension. And that the new Battlestar Galactica kind of frustrates me too. But they're not even funny. You got to give Calio credit for doing something different. Yeah, jazz openings are awesome. In fact, I got a recent request from Patreon to talk about some anime music stuff, and I'll probably be getting a video out shortly about that. But yeah, what are some favorite openings you guys like? Oh, by the way, if like the video, spread it around. There's actually more people up talking. Ask me questions. I'll be here for a while. I think I might do this for like an hour or something. I thought I was going to try and have some people in, but we'll see. We shall see what happens. Man, there we go. All right. Let's be real. It's a shit movie. I hear Batman is the best, though. Wait a minute. Did you see it yet, though? Because you're saying it's a scheisse movie, but you hear Batman's the best. What? Hey, and I think a lot of people are making this mistake too. Like a lot of people are hating on the movie based on those initial reviews before they even see it. And if you go into it with that attitude, of course you're going to have more of a negative reaction. So my general consensus is yes, it's not a great movie, but there's stuff in it I thought was awesome. Primarily the Batman stuff. Oh, you joining my Patreon? Yay! Well, if I don't know what the system still says, it don't get if you feel like donating, don't worry about like following the system. Even if you donated just like a couple bucks, I'll do whatever you want. Seriously, like my one buddy, what's his name? Fudge. I forget Dub Zombie. He's been like really awesome. He was a patron for a couple months, and he was like, man, like you kept changing the system. I'm like, look, man, you could give me like a dollar or $2. I don't care. I'll make an awesome video for you. I don't care. So yeah, that's awesome. You don't have to. If you feel like giving me a buck, great. If you feel like giving me $100, honestly, it's funny. If somebody gave me that much for a month, I'd be like, dude, you don't have to give me anything for a while. I'll make a bunch of videos for you. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not picky about it. I'm just grateful to get any support I can. Oh, now the questions are rolling in. Do you think B is building an Injustice storyline because of the nightmare sequence? Well, actually, Coolio, the one thing I think that it's really trying to build up is actually the New 52 Darkseid storyline, which if you guys are curious, I actually finally watched Justice League War, which is based closely on the New 52 reboot when Darkseid came back. I think they're actually partially inspiring it on that and using it to establish that, which, to be honest, I thought those little comic book hints and building up a bigger universe were actually really awesome. I was like, yeah, we're going to have Darkseid coming up, and I don't know, I thought it looked potentially cool. Like the Parademons in that like alternate possible future, that stuff was really awesome. So I'm very excited about that for sure. Parasite has an amazing opening. No, that's cool. Parasite does have a good opening. I'm still really happy that finally got animated because I was one of those people that read the manga years ago, and I'm like, man, I'm surprised this never got an anime. And of course, like a lot of the classics, it's finally getting new iterations now. So that's really one thing that's pretty cool. But yeah, people that are joining in, like the video, spread it, share it around, ask questions about whatever. We'll do this for a little while because I'm awake. I'm awake. April Fools, bro. Oh, I see what you did. I see what you did. That hurts my feelings. Not really, but good call though. I totally forgot. I should have done an April Fool's video too. I should have been like, I'm making a video now, psych, and then just like pissed everyone off. The actor is good, of course. Got some good stuff to it. Oh yeah, no, Ben Affleck was fine. I don't think he was like the best Batman ever. I mean, for me, Michael Keaton's still the best one, but Ben Affleck's fine. Part 4 is your favorite. I don't hear that too often, actually, but that's cool. NHK opening's good. NHK, I don't know. I don't know if I thought it was depressing. I think that some things about the concept are depressing, especially if you feel kind of concerned about the state of the otaku reflection in a Japanese society or just in general. Anybody getting too obsessed with things and getting more focused on fiction as opposed to connecting with the real world. I think NHK really does resonate with people and still is stated as a classic because it is one of those few slice of lives that I think a lot of fans of anime and just fans of a lot of different things can really relate to, especially for younger people that are uncertain about what they want to do with their lives and maybe they're a little more antisocial or have difficulty fitting in. I think a lot of those tales kind of resonate with people, and the main character, I think he's somebody you can kind of get behind, and he he's somebody you can relate to for sure. But I don't know. I think it does have a good opening. Part 4 is your favorite too. Nice. Hey, Frederick, what's up? Yeah, if you like the video, guys, share it, spread it around, ask questions, because I haven't done a live stream in a while and I felt like it. And I don't know. And otherwise, I'll just start talking about random stuff. So please feel free to contribute. I've actually got a bunch of shows that I need to check out because I've been behind on things like. Oh, hey, by the way, guys, if you have requests for videos you'd like me to do, just let me know. I'm going to try to get to them when I can because I have like this new job has been good, but I feel like I have no time for anything. Like whenever I have a day off, I'm like too exhausted. But yeah, so take advantage of it now while I'm taking stuff, or PM me or whatever. I'll put it on the message on the website. I gotta refresh the request board on there because I haven't looked at that in a while. Thoughts on Todd McFarlane? Okay, okay, all right. This will be a rant for you. Okay, Todd McFarlane. All right. First of all, Todd McFarlane is probably one of the most important people in the comic book industry within the last like 25 years because before him, much like with films like with Pulp Fiction that I recently reviewed with Tarantino and Kevin Smith with films bringing independent film to the mainstream, I think with Todd McFarlane, what he did with Image Comics breaking off from Marvel, he was the first person to really challenge the big two because before Todd McFarlane, there was basically just DC and Marvel, and if you didn't work with them, you didn't have a chance to make it in the industry. But all these other artists decided to break off, make their own company, and Todd McFarlane was really important for that, which I think is awesome. And on the side note, Spawn, I think, is a really awesome character. I think he's a cool design character. I think his power set's cool. I think his world's pretty awesome. I think his stuff is dark and interesting. Like the early Spawn comics are amazing. Amazing. I love Spawn. Spawn's like, he's one of my favorite superheroes. I don't know if you can call him a superhero. He kind of was originally, but Spawn is so awesome. Just the look of Spawn alone. The animated series is really good too. I think the imagination behind him was really, really awesome. And I think Tom McFarlane's important for, I think, giving hope to new creators because he started with basically nothing and worked his butt off until he got a break at Marvel and then started to succeed. So McFarlane's awesome. But on the flip side, from what I understand about the guy, he's kind of an a-hole because like he screwed over Neil Gaiman with the rights to inventing some of his characters, and Neil Gaiman's pretty awesome. So who mistreating Neil Gaiman's pretty annoying. And if you ever watch the cartoon, you can kind of get a sense of the person Todd McFarlane is, that he did do a lot of great things, but his ego is so apparent. Like he starts off every episode with like, "Hey, I'm Todd McFarlane. I'm the creator of Spawn, and I'm going to give you some speech about some vague concept that sounds really deep to make myself sound so impressive," which I'm not going to lie. I mean, I think a lot of people in that position might gloat a little bit. I could see it too. But he just seems like somebody who started off as kind of this independent artist with a lot of passion and dreams and kind of got sucked into the popularity, and he's a little obnoxious. I also think Spawn's really gone off the deep end too in terms of quality, like a lot of things. But Tom McFarlane, great creator, good writer, amazing artist, very important person that I do admire. But at the same time, I think he's probably not the best guy. Are you reading Max Landis' current run on Superman? It's called American Alien. Honestly, it seems like it could become a modern classic. I'll tell you what, Coolio, I have to catch up on comics. The last comic I read was like some of the more recent Batman stuff. That's pretty much it. Superman, I haven't read like anything since New 52, basically, because from what I know, it just really didn't interest me. But I'll check it out. Max Landis, you said? I'll give it a shot. I think that might be cool. I like Superman. I just think that he's very easy to screw up. What episode you on Gintama? I took a little break from Gintama, honestly, because the Ben Azakura arc had all that hype, and I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to take a break. So the next one I'm going to watch, I think, is the Kuyo arc. But yeah, I've taken a break from Gintama. I'll probably be starting that pretty soon again, though. Shinji is one of the most misunderstood anime characters. For instance, people think he's a whiny bitch. What are your thoughts on Shinji? Actually, if you're interested, on The Artifice, it's an online website, with the online magazine that I'm a part of. We talk about like all kinds of geeky topics. I actually did an article on Evangelion with the main focus of Shinji Ikari being a misunderstood character. So I recommend you check that out. It's under Merlin the Mighty. You check it out, Evangelion article, Shinji Ikari. But basically, in a nutshell, I think Shinji Ikari is really important as a commentary on the stereotypical mecha, character, the main pilot, taking somebody in that position and seeing how they might realistically act, and seeing, well, this might be traumatic for them, and they might react this way. So I think Shinji is honestly, for the ridiculousness of the fantasy of the story that was actually being portrayed, I think that he brought a huge amount of realism into it, which some people might argue, well, if you're going to watch a show about giant robots, don't you want to see a great character that's going to do all these amazing things? Well, yes, to a certain extent you do, but Shinji and the series as a whole were a commentary on that and portraying something different. And that's fine. That's why even Yoin is considered to be such a monumental series that a lot of people do like, because it did actually create something different. So my thoughts on him basically are, I think that he's fine for the series that he's in. I think he serves his function. I think he can be annoying. And my biggest issue with him is that I feel like his character kind of reverts backwards, especially if you look at the movie and how that resolves the series. I think he's one of the few characters I've seen who at best stays stagnant and then by the end reverts back. His character growth goes in reverse. And that's really, really frustrating, because he basically becomes the new god of the universe. Spoilers. And he ends up still being like a whiny bitch. So yeah, I'm pretty frustrated about it. Let's see. Oh, Z's in here. Nice. Z, you're welcome to join in if you like, sir. In fact, I know what I'm going to do. But I think somebody asked if I've read the Tokyo Ghoul manga. It's funny. I watched like an episode or two of Tokyo Ghoul, and I did think it was awesome. But like many things, I am a little behind on it, unfortunately. But no, I have not read the manga. Is it better than the anime? That seems to be the typical consensus on things. But, I'm not sure. I have not. If I should read it, let me know. I'll actually send this link out, maybe. If I could find the thing. Oh, here it is. If anybody's interested, you guys can join. Okay, where were we? Oh, I won't spoil Evangelion specifically. Trust me, there's like multiple different interpretations as to what happens anyway, so I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll stop talking about it. The point is, I don't really like the way the character progressed, basically. Tom McFarlane doesn't have a bit of much pride, I agree. Well, pride and, obnoxiousness are two different things. Funny, I was liking a video of Sage ripping apart Small Cartoon and praising some good points. All right, Shot. I hate Bennett the Sage. Okay, I'm tired of people basing their opinions on all these classic things because of this guy. And I mean, it hurts me to say that because, Bennett is a person that I have found very entertaining, in the past. But there's like all these great things. Like I could not take anything he said seriously about all these classic shows that he made fun of after he fucking bitched about Akira. And he called Akira a piece of shit. And while I will admit that is his opinion, it kind of caters everything else. Like, I mean, the guy's really good at poking apart really bad dubs, but that's kind of unfair too. I know he's doing it for purely comedic purposes, but that's not really fair to judge an anime or create an opinion about anime that people are going to believe because they follow you so religiously as an expert on it, basing it on some crappy dub from the 80s or 90s. That's not a fair representation of it, and he knows that. So you know what? And speaking of which, the Spawn cartoon, it might not have been perfect, but you know what? Whatever. Whatever, man. Where do I see myself in 15 years? When I'm like 40? Man, bringing out the big questions, Ergo. Actually, I'll tell you what. What I would like to see for myself in 15 years is I would like to see myself fully independent. By God, I hope so by then. Basically, just I really would like to have accomplished a couple things by then. I'd like to get some of my writing published for sure. Maybe like officially, like maybe a novel format. Maybe I produced a couple independent films. And I realized that one of my main dreams is I really do want to open up like my own comic collectible store someday, and I'm hoping that by the time I get to that point, I could really do that, and I could run my own business that way. That would be really awesome, ideally. If that didn't happen though, as long as I just could, you know, pretty much just be hanging out. If I ended up getting married, having kids, that would be awesome too. But I kind of hope that that sort of happens before then, because I'd rather get started on that when I have some energy too. But who knows? We'll see what happens. I don't like Rebirth from what I saw. Rebirth as in Superman. Birthright was pretty good. If you guys remember that, that was a good Superman origin tale from like 2004. I enjoyed that one. Part 4 is overrated. I like it in the main cast, but the plot is way too random and disjointed. I actually haven't read much of 4, so I kind of am probably just going to experience it more from the anime portion. So pretty soon, actually. Pretty soon. Wait. What the heck? Part 4 is going to be airing this week. Wow. Oh, wow. It's supposed to air tonight. Maybe April Fool's it won't. I'm questioning if Batman is my favorite hero. Why is that, Z? Why do you feel that? Why do you question that? He was your favorite hero? I wasn't really sure. Let's see. Wow, so many things. So many comments. So many comments. Okay, hold on. Let me get caught up here. Holy crap. All right. Wait. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's not an April Fool's joke. Okay. Oh, I got Shinichi and Shinji mixed up. I feel like a lot of people misunderstand Superman by calling him boring. I love Superman because he did not have a crazy past. He's just a guy. Well, he's a guy, but he's also an alien god. So he's a lot of things, essentially. A lot of random necessary arcs. Manga shits on the anime. Well, usually they do. Some good stuff like Raft Fight. Manga is better. Oh shit, Ryomi. We are opposites, Merlin. I knows I hate Superman. You hate Superman? I forgot. Do you? Well, you know, some people hate. I think it's interesting because the people that love or hate a certain character are usually for the same reasons. Like, you know, the people that love Superman because he's representing the best aspects of morality and he's a great person and he's pretty much invulnerable, or the same reason why a lot of people hate him or love him for it. My favorite Full Metal Alchemist character? That's a tough one, actually, because that really shifts a lot, to be honest with you. Probably one of the homunculi, to be honest. I always really liked Greed, but I like Mustang a lot, too. Hughes is pretty awesome. I think my favorite character in all Full Alchemist is probably Alphonse, because I like the way that he balances out Edward's anger and his frustrations. He's just kind of this moral center, and he's much more logical and calmer. I don't know. I always thought Al was a really good character. That despite everything he went through, he actually kind of came out better mentally than Ed did, because Ed felt so guilty. I mean, Al basically had his soul ripped from him and went through some hell dimension that's basically indescribable, and came back as a suit of armor, and you know, who may never become human again. And I think he's actually pretty positive. So I think he's just an amazing character because of what he represents. I think he's one of the best kind of people we could all aspire to be in that sense. Julian the Fire Emblem. Well, no. Let me know your favorite FMA characters, guys. I'm kind of curious to see what people say. Hohenheim? Wait. Oh, you're still reading the manga, Z. Hohenheim is an interesting character. I think he's actually probably better portrayed in the manga than he was in the first series, because they kind of make him out to, like every shonen father, he just abandons his kids and is totally selfish. But, man. Oh, Greed or Roy? Yeah, good choices. Solo Birthright. I think Lust because, yeah, sexy. That's a good enough reason, I guess. Ryza over Lust. An FMA movie as in live action. That'd be pretty awesome. Oh, let's see here. What else? So many messages. Wait. Now we're just getting into blondes over brunette discussion. That's a whole nother discussion. I mean, I personally am okay with everything. I'm not very picky. Oh, Wolverine's your favorite now. Did you read some new storylines that intrigued your interest, perhaps? Aha, maybe that's what it is. All-Star Soups. Oh, God, no. I hate that one. I hate that story. It makes no sense. There's so much random stuff. So that the movie adaptation made me so mad. It's like one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen. Oh God, it's terrible. Zur and Raw Batman. Oh fuck you, motherfucker. I feel like I hear someone in the distance. Let me check something. Gotta check.
What's fucking?
Wait. I hear a voice. Wait.
Do you hear a
wait
voice? It's your conscience,
Oh,
Merlin.
oh! It's the anime hero.
No, it's the anime
Everybody,
conscience.
everybody, welcome the anime conscience. He has joined us today. Hold on. Before I talk to you here, I'm going to answer some more questions.
That's fine.
By the way, guys, if you have questions for Hero, let him know because he's here now. I'm sure he's got some JoJo stuff to talk about. Let's see here. Do you find it odd that we're in the age of the comic book movies, but actual comics are dying? Yeah, that's true, unfortunately. Kimblee's your favorite character. He's so evil, though. He's so evil. So evil. Oh, Hero. How's it going?
Just been a little bit tired, I guess.
A little tired? Why are you tired, man?
Oh, that Cobra video that I did the other day, like it cost me sleep.
Really? How long did it take you to make it?
Well, the thing is, I was nearly done with it when I finished it. It was like 3 a.m. I'm thinking, I'll finish it later after I sleep. But then as I try to go to bed, I can't help but think about it. And if I kept working it like an hour ago, I would have finished it by now. So I kept tossing and turning and kept thinking if I just kept working, I would have been done by now. And then I could have not worry about it. And then before I noticed, it was already 7 a.m. So I just like, fuck it. I'm just going to keep working on it.
Fair enough. I thought it was awesome, by the way. I'm glad you're always expressing some Cobra love, by the way.
Oh yeah, man. Because I'm just hoping that it's not gonna be like a repeat of Young Blackjack from last year.
Well, it's not Young Cobra, is it?
No, it's not Young Cobra.
By the way, if you had the opportunity to have his gun, isn't his gun like one of the most awesome weapons in like all of anime? Seriously.
I would say so because actually the author even said that what makes it so interesting is that you didn't even know he has it until he unsheaths it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a surprise. It's just a surprise in his Astro Boy's ass machine guns, man.
Now, if I remember correctly, his ass machine. It's not as surprising as that. No, nothing could be as surprising as that. But no, I think if I remember correctly, wasn't it? Okay, it doesn't fire projectiles. It like fires force projected by psychic energy, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's mental energy that it's.
Hey, Hero. It's been a while since we talked, man. I got to see your beautiful face, man. Come on.
Hold up. I'm getting there. I'm getting the camera.
Yeah, you're making some horrible noise too. These headphones are too good. I hear every scratch. It's like, God, the pain. Oh, there he is.
No.
No hat though.
No, I don't want the hat right now.
And we got Z in here, I think, somewhere.
Z, he's chatting.
Z, get your butt in here, man. Come on. This will be an honorary Phantom Group discussion. Honorary. So I think part 4 comes out today, apparently. Is that right, Hero? Say you want mute or something?
Yeah, hold up. Yeah, it's supposed to come out in a couple of. I don't even know what time. I'm assuming like 9 o'clock and 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I'm assuming. I'm not sure.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't even realize it was that coming out already. Damn. Okay.
Well, I'm assuming because last year with Crusaders, that was the time it would show up. It was like around noon. So.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond is unbreakable. Okay.
But is it really though? That's what I need to know.
No, it probably is.
Let's see. Looper. Looper's a good film. I think it was really good for most of it, but when they get to the end and it just turned to like weird psychic kid, I thought it deviated a lot from the cool time travel stuff. So it's good for most of it, but that third act always bothered me. Favorite Hakusho character? Probably Kurama. What do you think, Hero? Who's your favorite Hakusho character?
It's between Yusuke or Kuwabara, with honesty.
I mean, that's fine, but okay, I have to ask you though here because that is pretty standard stuff. And you got your main protagonist, and you got
Mhm.
the comic relief underdog guys. So, all right, what about those two characters in particular stands out to you?
Yusuke is just his. It's mostly the dub with his insults and witty comebacks and all that shit, and just the brash attitude that he has.
Mhm.
Kuwabara is just the whole honor code and masculinity that he has going for.
Well, definitely up there. I think Kuwabara is pretty good. I mean, that's the great thing about honestly the Hakusho Four is that there's such a really good cluster of solid shonen characters that work so well in their simplicity. But Hiro, I do have to ask though, of the four,
Mm-hmm.
which one's your least favorite though? Because it's hard
Um,
because they're all good. They're all really good. So it's not like there's a wrong answer.
well, for me, the least it was Kurama, but there's nothing bad I'm gonna say about him or picky. It's just that I don't know why he's the one that I have the least interest in because
I know why.
I'm not sure why.
Like I think it's because that based on his physical appearance, he's the least manly.
Well,
My
maybe,
guess.
but still,
He's also, but he is a pretty
he's still
manly
cool
character.
though.
He is pretty
He's
manly
still he's still cool, man. He's
though.
violent. He's violent, man.
Well, my least favorite's Hiei, man, honestly, because I just think that he didn't really do anything. It's like all things considered. Like he's got an awesome attack, and he's got a cool backstory, but he just like sits around for most of the series. He doesn't do anything till like the end, really, of any
He's sort of
significance.
he's sort of like the muscle of the group in a way. Just he's just kind of there in reserve.
He's there to just wreck stuff when necessary.
I mean, Kurama obviously brings the intelligence of the group. It's like
And of course, Yusuke's the heart to elevate everybody, and Kuwabara just brings the comedy. I
he
mean,
brings the action, I guess, man. I don't know.
well, does he get the action though? That's the question.
No,
Not that we can see.
not really. No, Kuwabara does though with his sister.
Kuwabara and his sister. Oh yeah,
Yukina,
Yukino.
Yukina. Oh yeah.
No. I liked the romance with Kuwabara and Yukina. I thought it was good. I really did.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I don't know. It's pretty interesting stuff. I gotta say. Oh, that's right, Hero. You saw Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And from what I remember briefly, you said you weren't a fan of it. You were like bored of it for most of it, right?
Yeah, I was bored the first hour, man. Like you have
Damn.
no idea. You have no fucking clue.
Well, to be fair, it was a lot of buildup, a lot of steady
A
buildup.
lot of, but
Lot
I
of-
think we could agree. I think we could agree that Luthor is the worst part of that movie.
oh my God, he's so horrible. So he's not intimidating at all, man. He really
He's
is.
so hammy. He's so hammy, but he's not even funny hammy. He's just bad.
He's just bad ham.
Like the red capes are coming. All that stupid shit.
The red capes are coming.
I mean, that speech he was giving, it was so fucking awkward. Also,
Well, he kept changing. He kept changing his point in the speech too. Like the point he was trying to drive home kept changing like every second. Like you didn't even know what his speech was by the end. Like, what are you trying to say? It's like I don't know.
I just really hate.
It ranged from intimidating to silly.
I just really hate the pretentious like religious elements throughout the whole movie. I'm just like, come on, shut up, shut up. I get
Well,
it.
that's a big part of Man of Steel.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
But he's Jesus, though.
I know. I
He's
get it
Jesus
because I mean, even the animated Superman, like there was religious elements in there, even from the first 3 episodes. Like, but they were subtle about it. I mean, compared to this one, where they're saying like God, God.
Did you get the point? To be honest
Like-
with you, though, that's the thing, Hero. When it comes to that writer, Goyer, he worked on the Dark Knight movies. He does not know
Mhm.
subtlety. Because remember in the Dark Knight movies, remember how he's like, I am Morgan Freeman, I am Michael Caine, I am Alfred, and I will explain the theme of this movie if you can't think for yourself. Because those movies are overrated as fuck. And you know, Hero, you know Tim Burton all the way. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
anything deep in those movies, you can interpret yourself. Like for instance, like the scene where like he's going to visit his parents' grave. I mean, there's so much power, and it's just music. You can just interpret
It's
it yourself.
silence.
silence. You can just like he read it on his face. He doesn't like stop and turn to the camera like, you see, this scene is meant to explain this, and you're supposed to feel this way because we're really smart filmmakers, and you're a bunch of dog audience members. You're idiots. You know, that's what I'm saying.
You know, because going back to the animated series of Superman, there was two scenes that I recall very well. One is about a little girl in a news report where a little girl gets rescued, and she says like, "A blue man with red wings saved me," you know, kind of implying the whole angel thing. Okay, but then even beforehand, you know, when Martha Kent and oh my God, I forgot the dad's name. Mr. What is his name? Something. I forgot his father's first name.
Jonathan.
Jonathan Kent. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, anyways, when they first find him in the shuttle in the animated series, they actually positioned his shuttle like over a bit of water, referencing the Moses, you know, in the basket kind of thing.
Of
like,
course.
But they don't tell you that, you know. I like the movie, which just says like that painting should be upside down. Because
oh man!
Oh my God, I just couldn't stand him. Even like with even when he starts like shedding his blood on that, and he starts giving tears as if like, so this is the birth of some beautiful fucker thing. Oh my God, that was just the worst character ever, man.
Well, he was terrible, but we kind of knew that going in. But Hero, I do have to ask you this though, because I'm going to assume that after that first hour, there must have been some good things for you.
A little bit.
a little bit. Well, let's be positive here. Was there anything about the movie you did like?
I guess everyone agrees on this part. The biggest surprise was, you know, the whole teasers for all the different Justice League members just pop out of nowhere. I mean, actually, you know, one scene in the audience that actually clapped.
What?
When Wonder Woman showed up.
Yo,
like people started clapping. No, my seat. I was like, oh yeah.
Honestly, that was the best part of the movie for me. Was Wonder Woman finally showed up in full glory. She was awesome. Wonder Woman was fine.
Yeah.
Fine, you know. It was like fine.
But I mean, I was just I kind of wanted to see a Cyborg movie after seeing that little clip.
That was horrifying. That was a horrifying clip.
Yeah, man. It was an operation, man. I mean, it's even worse for the father because he's the one trying to keep his son alive. It's like, fuck.
You know what's hilarious about it is that every single one of their clips shows like one of their powers, right? Like, okay, we got Flash showing off his power, Aquaman showing off his power. What's Cyborg's thing? His origin, where he gets ripped apart and screams. That's his power, to be in pain and scare you horribly. That's his origin.
Aquaman was manly as fuck, though.
Aquaman was awesome. I'm like, he looks pretty cool.
I know. I'm just like, it's Aquaman. Motherfucking Aquaman.
It's Aquaman.
Man. Yeah, I was digging. I was really surprised at how dark they made Batman in this version. I mean, the whole branding shit was like, that's never been done before.
Honestly,
I'm aware of.
This is the thing. I was okay with it because it's the Dark Knight Returns version anyway. But this is the thing, Hero. This version was even darker than the Burton one. Like, it's the Burton Batman, but amped up times 10. He's just straight up running into people with his car. He's just like freaking like, these people are so beyond dead. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
That's the thing I wanted to bring up when Batman was saying, like, you know, like he's a menace to like society. I'm like, what about you?
You're a menace to society. And it's funny because Superman's like considered a mercy. In any version, Superman would never just let a guy who freaking murdered 20 people walk away. I don't care if he is Batman. They just met. He's like, you lock him up. You lock him up. Like, considered a mercy. You just watch this guy crush a guy with his car and you let him go away? What? All right. Superman's very forgiving, I guess.
I mean, that fucking Bat brand, that was just brutal shit, man. I mean, wow.
I'm cool.
You're in the deep end. I don't know. I mean, it's like if Tim Burton and Frank Miller's Batman fused together.
I know, right? They become the darkest Batman ever.
Maybe a little bit of Alan Moore's Rorschach. Throw that in there.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, the Bat brand, and he starts like shooting people left and right. Like, Batman, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you?
Oh man.
You're shooting people, Batman. You're not supposed to shoot people. But I mean, obviously, in Tim Burton, he was always like fucking shit. He set a guy on fire.
That was the best part, by the way. Like, I love. Actually, my favorite. I think I've told you this. You know, my favorite murder in the Tim Burton movies.
This is the bomb.
Yes, Batman Returns when he looks at the bomb, he smiles, and then he fucking murders the guy. I'm like, that's awesome. I don't even care. He just gleefully murders the guy.
I know,
It's
man.
great.
That face.
But I want to ask you
I
a
mean,
question. Seriously, this is one thing that's always bothered me. Right? Okay.
mhm.
In the first one, first Tim Burton Batman, the Joker must have powers over like the plot because Batman is great. Batman's really awesome at that, obviously. But there's the one part where he's literally going to kill the Joker. He's swooping down the Batplane. He's got all the targets right on him, and he somehow completely misses. Does he have a force field? What happened there? What was going on? How did he miss? He had like missiles, machine guns, lasers, just everything and everything around him. Nothing. He didn't move. Nothing. What was up with that? What is the
Um,
explanation for that scene? Tell me. Tell me.
I
The
don't know,
theory.
man. The Joker force field.
That's what it must be. The laughing force field, man.
I don't know. Maybe the gas fucked shit up. I don't know.
Look,
Fucking
Hero, all I know is one thing. I'm much happier now. You know why?
why?
I've been using Brand X.
I totally walk into that one.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm unusually awake for this night. So, anyway, Hero,
I don't
what you
know.
been up to, man? Have you been watching anything new? I've been so behind on stuff. Anything good to
I
talk about?
finished Samurai Jack after like so many years.
Oh, really? What'd you think?
Oh yeah, it's a good series, but there's just some episodes that I don't like though.
Really? Which ones?
well, I know it goes into comedy like every now and then, but the ones that are just purely comedy in season 2, I was just like, no, please no,
Uh,
I don't
so
want
you like a
this.
degree of seriousness with the Samurai Jack? You like some
Yeah,
seriousness?
yeah, yeah. Like I like. There's a lot of episodes that I like. I mean, I was actually thinking maybe I should just make like a top 10 list or something, but of
That'd be
favorites.
cool.
Like
Did you
it's like,
what'd you think about the episode where it's like a couple vignettes where they go through the seasons and he has to like weird like witches or something?
actually,
Do you
I
know what I'm
didn't
talking
not
about?
think about it. I know what you're talking about, but I not recall. I don't think I ever finished that one actually. So
Really? I thought that one was
yeah,
really good.
and I need
How'd
to
you
go
wait?
back.
I thought you said you just finished the whole series. And you said you didn't watch
Oh,
all the episodes.
I forgot. Like I will shit
Lies.
you. I will shit you not. I will shit you not. Somehow I skipped the Spartan episode. I was kind of wondering, man, where's the Spartan
What?
episode? I'm like, I don't. And then I'm like, oh shit, I missed it.
The Spartan episode. That's so awesome. How'd you miss?
I know. I
How
don't
do you,
know. I don't know. I just missed it. That was
are you watching these online somewhere?
Yeah, I did, but I completely forgot. So I went back and watched that. But one of my favorite one I could tell you is the one about the robot.
Oh, the robot one. That's really good. Hmm.
You know, the whole crime noir one. I'm just
Yeah, that's good.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. That was
like
good.
fuck,
I know.
sweet thing.
I like how they just kind of take every different genre and they use Samurai Jack for it. Everything's explored. Do you remember Jack in Space? Jack in Space.
Is that one of the first ones that I'm thinking about? Like when he has that like flaming sword and the astronaut suit.
I think so. Yes, and he fights in space. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He does fight in space.
Yeah, okay, that was a cool image though, just him like unleashing that sword. But one of my favorites one is when he gets infected with Aku.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Because I mean, this thing was like, I'm pretty sure Jack killed like a lot of monks in that episode. I mean, he must have
Oh.
killed lots of people like throughout that whole thing.
Well, they might have been robots like everybody else.
You know, that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit I say. I mean, these say the robots. I'm like, we know what's going on here. I mean, a samurai kills. He kills, man.
One thing I really like about Aku, though, in all honesty, is that I think it's really rare to find a villain that can really go from being really funny and fun to watch to being honestly really intimidating and scary. Like in the same, like how do they do that? Like that's so rare,
It is rare. I mean, like, one of the comedic bits that I thought about was when he challenges Jack for the last time, and he's saying like, "Look, we're gonna repeat this thing all over again. You're gonna try to kill me. I go and fly and say, I'll get you next time, Jack." And then even the scene where he has this one henchman and he fails him, like, give me another chance. I'm like, no, just watches.
No.
But I mean, the most intimidating scenes easily were like his origin, the two-parter thing, where it's just a blob from outer space and then starts infecting the whole damn place. When he burns the castle in front of the king, I'm just like, God damn.
Oh yeah, no, like seriously, Aku is like when you first meet him, like in those first episodes, he's not funny. He's like really terrifying. Like, what is this strange demonic entity He's just look. He's one of the greatest villains, man. Do you know why, Hero? Do you know why?
Because of his voice.
Mostly, he's Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness. Yes, a foolish samurai warrior. Yes, magic sword. Oh man, Samurai Jack is great. It really is, man.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Come on, more or less ready for the 2006 whenever the new one pops up.
I guess I better check some of these comments. Hold on. Oh, so many. Hold on. Let me catch up. Any questions for myself or Hero, guys? Let us know. Red Sun was pretty good. I liked that. That was the alternate. If Superman was born in communist Russia, that was pretty cool. Hiei is a scrub. Damn, Vegeta ripoff. Unpopular as well. Hiei should be named by the Dragon of Emo Flame as he's a bum. Man, so much hate towards Hiei in the comments here.
It's surprising.
Of course, Z's trying to defend it. To be serious for a quick sec, he was based off Skunky, according to Tagashi, and a dojin he made. He even noted Vegeta similarities and drew him and Vegeta. And
Skunky.
Skunky.
I mean, I could see with the hair.
People hate on Snyder. Watchmen was fine. 300 was good. Rorschach was also awesome. 300 aged like ass juice. I thought it still looks kind of cool. Frank, yeah, Punisher and New Daredevil's pretty awesome. Yeah, the New Daredevil's great. Let's see here. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I gotta remember something, Hero. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Here. I wanted to ask you something. Hold on. What was that thing here?
Get back to the past. I mean, actually, I kind of got annoyed that in one of the comments when I was watching the Samurai Jack video, someone was saying that like Jack doesn't kill people; he's a pacifist. I'm like, just here, he kills people left and right.
I mean, he's one of those heroes who wants to use violence as a last resort, but he's perfectly fine with slaughtering people if he needs to. Robots are not.
Man. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, the whole robot thing is obviously a form of censorship. I mean, even then, he gets all bloody and shit. Like, come on, Jack, you're a samurai. We know you kill for justice, so that's okay. But I mean, that monk episode, the Aku's infection, he clearly killed like so much people, man. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh, absolutely! Like so many people died, and the origin for Jack was great too, because like you said, he burned down the entire city. I did like how Jack was like sent across the world, and he learned to fight with all the different cultures. I always thought that was really awesome.
Yeah, it's like the Batman training montage.
No, but with more sword-based combat. So Batman with the sword would basically be unstoppable. You know what, man? You're obvious. Oh, what now, son?
Samurai. I'm trying to figure out what to go with next because I need to finish Gargoyles. I'm like I'm not sure what number. I'm thinking in the 40s, I guess.
Now, do you know what Goliath's greatest saying for me was?
No.
Despero is the beginning. Despero is the end.
The only thing that came to my head was like the stupid joke of jalapenos.
Jalapenos.
Well, they'll just say it every now and then.
I think that you missed the reference, Hero. Maybe it's too late for you.
It probably is.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'll have to explain the joke now and make it less funny. But Keith David, as you know, voiced many great people. Voiced Spawn, and he voiced what villain in the Justice League?
Oh, that guy, that one purple dude from the Green Lantern looked like.
Yep, Despero. Despero is the beginning. Open your eyes so that you may see. Feel the power of my rage. Feel the power of my hate. I love that episode, man. It's good. Despero is the beginning. Despero is the end. Weird alien cult. You will spread my
eyes on our forehead.
With eyes on our forehead, yes.
Well, then again, I guess that could be the mind's eye thing. So.
Well, I think that. Well, I think the character actually does have the third eye, but yes, maybe they're literally implying he has the psychic power. By the way, okay, maybe Z can answer this because he knows all things Dragon Ball because he's got the Daizanshu and everything. But okay, Tien is Tien a Triclops? Is he a mutant, or did he actually achieve enlightenment and gain that third eye? What is the actual reason? Because I've heard both explanations. Because I'd love to believe that Tien's enlightened, but judging by the fact that he gets really mad about things all the time, I don't know if that's exactly what happened. You know,
not to mention his assassin background. You know.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I think since he had it before, he turned to the good side. I don't think there are too many people that reach enlightenment that are assassins. Now,
The
actually,
assassin way.
now, Hero, who was more of a father figure for Tien and Chaozu? Would that have been Crane Master or Mercenary Tao?
Oh, jeez. Well, who knows, man? I mean, because Tien didn't want to like attack either of them.
That's true. Probably. I think I've always kind of suspected that more of the combat was probably from Tao, though, for some reason.
No, I guess. I mean, he was the hired gun going around, killing people with his tongue.
Yeah, you get no better kind of tongue action outside of that, do you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So, do you think that Blue enjoyed it before he died? He was like, "Oh yeah, right at the temple." Oh yeah, so good.
Maybe.
Maybe. There are worse ways to go out than the tongue of some mercenary penetrating my skull, licking my brain matter.
Oh god,
It's what happened though. Like now, okay, this must mean that it's all key based. So he had to focus the power around his tongue to increase the density to penetrate the skull. Because think about it, the strength of his tongue, the density of his tongue must have been significantly powerful enough to go through the cranium of a guy who we also know had super strength. But Blue did not have any key abilities, so he might have just been a normal dude's skull. The point is, that's a hard tongue right there.
Well, I don't know, man. He had telekinesis, so fucking.
Okay, yes, but remember, in Dragon Ball, you can have abilities, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's your key base.
Yeah, I know. But what actually what I was gonna say? So does this count as skull fucking?
If you want to interpret it a certain way, I guess it could be. It's definitely a skull foreplay.
I don't know, man. If you penetrate the skull with your tongue, I think that passed the foreplay.
You're right. I guess it is penetration. He didn't even do any foreplay. He just went straight in.
Ooh.
Brain.
Too much.
Too much.
Now I just picture a zombie mercenary town. Like robot zombie mercenary assassin.
Yes, I will eat your brain. Yes.
With my tongue.
Well, Tao was motivated by the thrill of fighting.
I got another one. It's like his tongue, mercenary Tao's tongue, is like just on par with an alien's extra mouth.
You mean, oh yeah, the things that because they actually do bite the skull like.
Yeah, no, it's like.
Now I'm picturing a GIF someone can make of Tao, but they can animate the little alien extra tongue head in place of his tongue. That'd be horrifying. I can believe it though. Anyway, too much talk about Tao's tongue, but I think I figured out the three things that Tao was primarily motivated by. Okay, obviously was the thrill of fighting, obviously, big money, making the mad cash, and clothing.
Oh.
That man liked his clothes. He really did.
Yeah, kill you.
I'll kill you if you ruin my wonderful suit. Yes. Yes.
Rocks a ponytail, man.
I remember when he didn't he hit Goku with his tail. And no, that cannot, I swear to God, that was like some Mortal Kombat thing right there, because there's no reason that his hair could be used as a weapon in that sense. He just would whack. Like, come on. Goku.
I mean, if it's thick enough, man,
That's what she said. I agree. Tao was very OP at the time, for sure. For sure.
Could have killed Goku.
Well, all right. If you're gonna kill Goku, there's a couple ways to do it. Okay. What's the most efficient way to kill Goku, Hero?
I don't know. First things first, I guess. What? Get rid of the tail.
Oh well. Let's okay. Maybe in the beginning, but after a while, the tail
Oh,
becomes superfluous anyway. So in general,
well, okay. So what? What do you mean, like poisoning his food or something? I don't know.
you know what? That I don't know. That might work if you got. But think about it. With his metabolism, most poisons might not affect him anyway.
Mm,
Though I've learned
no
from
idea.
recent episodes of Dragon Ball Super that Saiyans can be defeated by dehydration.
Well, that's those are stuff I always thought about as a kid, like wondering couldn't he like die of lack of oxygen, or I mean, you could drown him.
Yeah, I guess
So
you could,
that,
but who can hold down Goku long enough to drown him? And also, I would imagine that
well,
because they are
Frieza nearly did. Actually, you think about it. So
that's true. I guess he did, but then you have to take into account that Goku was probably weakened at that moment. So maybe if he's at his full strength, he can hold his breath longer. These are
I
things
don't
I've
know.
never. I don't know. They've never really been explored. I guess they gotta have to have some weaknesses, right?
Hmm.
I do
I
know that
mean,
sucking energy works for sure. It does.
Cell. Well, I know Cell has proven that. I mean, Jesus.
Well, I know that. Well, that's why I think the idea of the androids was good because if you can grab onto them and drain their energy enough, I mean that's a sure thing.
Yeah. But then everything gets thrown out with the power of Saiyan logic.
Yeah, which means I mean, really. In fact, you know what? I also realized that those must be some awesome devices because they actually were able to drain the energy without actually physically connecting to the skin. Because,
Hmm.
maybe that's
It was
why it
just
wasn't really
contact.
working. Because what? Just general contact?
No, no, it was just like touching. I mean, they touch your. I mean, I mean, Cell obviously he was like stabbing into them and then sucking them up like in Starship Troopers style.
Style. Yeah, yeah. It did look like the alien bug queen thing. His tail.
Yeah, no, just like I mean, well, in Starship Troopers they were sucking brains out. But, I mean, Cell could have done that easily. I mean, sucks up
Let's be
everything.
honest. Let's be honest. The imperfect cell version was the best because he was the most terrifying. And to be honest, from a functional standpoint, his that particular form was the best to use because he could just absorb people like that, like that. I mean, I think that in terms of when he gained his perfect form, he should have kept his tail because no reason to suck it up into your back or whatever the heck they.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I feel that all the characters should have died in that arc because there was no way they could have. Think about it, there was no way they could have gone up against the whole energy life draining thing, as well as the androids. The fact that they don't run out of stamina.
Yet, in all honesty, you're right. I mean, the only reason they did not die was because of Krillin. Seriously, because think about it, they were going to straight up murder all the characters, but then 18 was like, "Oh, this guy's cute, whatever. We'll leave his friends alone. We'll go kill Goku." But you're right, like because they were so much more powerful, and even so, you're right. The androids never run out of energy, so if they could just have outlasted them, like remember when Piccolo was fighting 17, he's obviously
Mm,
getting tired, and 17 would have just lasted him. So you're right. They should have Cell Saga. Everybody should have died. They should die before Cell got there.
yeah.
Like like the world's done. Because how did Doctor Gero freaking make such amazing cyborgs? I do
Mm.
that. The
Maybe he
power of
teamed up.
running.
Maybe he teamed up with like someone from Penguin Village, man.
Evil Penguin Village scientists. But wait a minute, no,
Man.
because if Ariel was around, she could have saved everybody.
Well, I guess. I suppose so. Yeah, she could have saved. Oh, actually, man, that would have been an epic way. Now to think about it, that would have been really cool to end the Cell Saga with Arale just ending the shit. It'd be like the improved 16, man. It'd be like Cell would be trying to suck her, and they're like, "What's this? Like you're not a human."
You're not a human. In fact, do you think that the reason why he absorbed them actually, like the way he did, was to keep them from being damaged? Because if he had absorbed them through the tail with the pinpoint, I guess that would have been horrifying, actually, if he done it that way.
it's horrifying either way, Merlin, man.
Well,
You got this like giant anaconda vagina thing sucking up
all right,
shit.
all right. Well, would you rather be okay? Would you? Cell is the most phallic villain because he either sucks you up through his dick or through his giant vagina. Okay, like there's the only way you're gonna go, and I'm like, which way is more pleasing? I think either way is disturbing as hell.
It's disgusting. It's
It's pretty
disgusting.
disgusting. It's pretty disgusting. Oh my goodness.
And you could totally picture Cell like in a horror OVA from the 1980s, man. It would make the most fucked up shit ever.
Yeah, you really could definitely one of those like late '80s, early '90s horror ones. They even some
hmm
like I think I didn't I ever show you Biohunter?
You told me about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my god, that's the most horrifying thing, man. Just I'm
there's
telling you.
there's, there's
Well, yeah, but
Apocalypse Zero and the whole like Legend of the Overfiend as well. So
you legend. Oh god. Ugh. Yeah. There's some pretty horrific stuff in early horror anime for sure. Or as I like to call it, anime. Animu.
no,
Mangu.
no,
Waifu?
man.
No,
No.
waifu. No.
I don't like any of those terms, man. They just sound like so stupid.
Well, they are pretty stupid. I'm pretty sure that's the
They
point
are.
they're going for. Yeah, they
I
are.
guess, but I just find it like, nah, man. No, thank you.
I'm trying to actually look at your massive collection back there. What is that primarily comprised of? I see a lot of manga.
Right,
is
manga. Oh, okay. Oh, there. That's mostly. Actually, I don't know if I'm in the way or. Oh, okay, it's backwards.
Well, I see like I think it's Dragon Ball on the back there. Am I right?
No,
can't
there's
tell.
no Dragon Ball. There's no Dragon Ball there. Nothing.
Well,
I
okay,
don't own this. I
I
don't
see.
own the single Dragon Ball volume.
You totally should. But I see a lot. I don't. All of them are white. So I'm wondering, is this all one series?
No, those are two series, but they're both from Viz Media, so maybe that's the reason why they're all white.
What are they? Just out of curiosity.
The bottom is all Toriko, and the one on top is all Ultimate Muscle.
Nice. What about the
Yeah.
one? What about the one on top of that? The red one.
That's the Kurohime manga.
And what about the stuff to the far side of the wall there? Is that Toriko and as well?
That's Toriko, 2 volumes of Gogo 13, and then Berserk underneath that, the brown ones.
That's a lot of Ultimate Muscle then. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even have the whole thing because there's 4 volumes that are out of print and they're going like for $70. So I'm like, no way.
Wow, I didn't realize that Kiriko Man had that much of them.
Oh, that's only that's only part 2 though. That's
Seriously. Well, how many chapters are out?
the first series had like 37 volumes. This
God.
one has 29.
What did it start in like the 70s or something?
It started in 79.
Okay, wow, that's whew.
That's the reason. I know. And then part 3 has 29 or 28 or so. And then right now, that's going on right now. I'm thinking they have another 20 some plus. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of lost. But the one next to that is actually a blackjack volume, the one with the different colors.
Oh yeah, that's the thicker one. I see. Cool, good stuff.
And then there's the JoJo volumes on the bottom underneath the clock. So.
Well, now that we're gonna have JoJo coming back, Hero, never mind. Never mind.
What?
You
What?
already no. How about this? How about a compromise? All right.
What's the compromise?
Instead of the weekly version, you could do a monthly version.
Oh, come on, man.
The monthly JoJo. No deadline, just the end of the month little recap on recent episodes. Not unreasonable, I think.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know really what I want to talk about in Diamonds on Red Wolf. I mean, to be honest, I feel more enthusiastic talking about the Crusaders because of how ridiculous it can get. But I don't know, because I've been thinking to go like the Mistare fusion route of just like starting JoJo at the beginning and talking about different things about it. But for right now, I just kind of want to get like certain series out of the way with reviews and then start doing whatever afterwards. Because
yeah, you've got a lot of stuff to catch up on. I know you said you had a lot of stuff to work on.
Yeah, I got a couple of things and then a lot of requests that I don't even think they're gonna ever see the light of day.
Well, I do have a request actually.
Oh boy!
Well, no. This isn't a massive priority. but I do think you should watch this, and you might not necessarily have to do a video on it if you don't want to, but I would like to
Mm.
because I think it'd be entertaining. I would honestly like you to check out Inuyasha.
Oh.
No, I'm serious because I actually am okay with the show, and I mean I know there's mixed feelings about it, but it's such an important like shonen
I
thing,
know, I know. It's
and I know you might not like some things about it, but I think there are some things about it you will like. So I'm curious to see what your reaction to it would be like. Watch the first like 20 episodes or something. First impressions movie.
well, maybe, but we have one question of, do you have any of the Dragon boxes? I'm like, nope, I don't. I wish I did because I would want to get a Dragon box for at least the first set because the Saiyan Saga is the most nostalgic for me because I really love the Kikuchi score. So that's mainly the reason why I really like that saga more than anything. And and it was probably my second favorite actually in terms of arcs of all Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. But no, the only Dragon Ball stuff that I have are like the Kai sets, the blue bricks, and the movies, with the exception of Resurrection F, because that's the only one I don't have. But I'm not motivated to get it as much.
You tell me you don't want to watch Resurrection.
Yeah, yeah, no, Fukatsu no F, you know.
I liked, I mean, well, are you saying that you don't have enthusiasm to get it because of how you felt about the movie, or just laziness?
Both that and I don't feel like spending. I don't feel like spending like 20 some bucks on it. So you know,
It's expensive, yeah.
I'd rather spend on something else. Actually, one of my favorite things is no, I have all of these though. Like this was the last one that I got.
Ah,
The old steel books for the drama movies, but
I remember those when they came in like double or triple packs. Like all the Broly movies came in one.
yeah, like this one was the hardest one for a while because for whatever reason it was like out of print. But then when they re-released them in those new boxes, I'm like, okay, now I can get this dirt cheap.
God, that's another thing I could talk about too. I'll tell you what, we'll probably be wrapping it up in about 15 minutes or so. But Hero, let's end this. Let's end this on a positive note because I feel like I've just been ranting all night. So I'm actually going to trick you, and we're going to just keep ranting till the end. Okay? Sound good? Sound good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first thing, on that note, Broly, I am so tired of it, man. Like even like people that have worked on Dragon Ball think Broly sucks. Okay? Broly is so overrated. Okay, like seriously, it's over. But okay, that's it. Whatever. That's done. I can't even do it. I'm done. By the way, why did he get less beefy in the next movies anyway?
I don't know, man. Like they couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford the muscles.
They couldn't afford a couple extra lines for muscles. Like he looks like half the size in the second movie, and then he just became a blob monster. Like whatever. But in any case, the blob.
The green blob. Mucus incarnate.
Hero, I think you should declare war on Watch Mojo.
Why?
Just do it. Just declare war on them.
Oh, I thought there's something like right now.
Oh no, it's just that like I've noticed that they've been making a lot more anime related content lately, and I think that they're trying to appease the people, but it's just it's obviously they haven't seen any of these series, and you know our feelings about it, but they just make me so fucking mad, man. Oh my God.
They just suck.
They do. They really do suck. Right now I'm talking to the Watchman smiley face. It's very disturbing.
No.
Very disturbing.
Okay, I can't put the stand box away.
Is a box falling on you or something, man?
That's what it just won't go. Okay. Okay, there.
Okay.
Shit. I don't know why. Like it doesn't want to fucking get in there. Hold up, I'm almost. Well, anyways, besides, are we still on Dragon Ball or what?
Well, hey man, the last 15 minutes I'm going to give to you as my guest. So, what would you like to talk about?
I don't have a topic. I don't have the top of my head.
All right. How about How about
Shit.
all right? How about Trigun? Okay, we'll end with Trigun.
Trigon.
We'll end with Trigun because I've always kind of had this rather unique opinion about Trigun, and I wanted to talk about it. I guess I'll use that as an excuse now. Trigun for me, I don't know if I told you this, but like it took a really long time for me to get into Trigun because I had this one friend who was like obsessed with it. Like, man, Trigun's the best thing ever, and it's hyped up, of course, right? And you know how the first like 8 or 9 episodes of Trigun are basically like silly filler, and they kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for the longest time, I kept watching it. I'm like, okay, there's some decent episodes, but I just stopped watching it because I'm like, I don't think the show's that great. And then when Legato shows up, it becomes like a whole different show, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Do you think that is a legitimate opinion, or do people like? For me, if I was going to recommend Trigun to somebody, I'm like, you can watch those first couple episodes, but just skip to the gung ho guns because that's the main plot. That's when things get real, when all the really good stuff
Mm-hmm.
happens. How do you feel about Trigun just as a series as a whole? How does it work for you?
Oh, it's a real mixed bag because I mean, there was so much like stuff going on behind the scenes that kind of messed it up in a way. I mean, it was bad enough that the original series got when the original comic book company went out of business, so he couldn't do a shonen thing anymore, and it became a seinen afterwards. And when the anime came out, like he hadn't started republishing anything yet either. So, but even looking at the anime by itself, the first few episodes are actually a couple of like one or two of them. One is based like on a pilot for an early Trigun chapter that he did, and so you're basically kind of repeating the same episode one storyline like 4 or 5 times, and it really like slows the pace down. But what annoys me that even the structure's all over the place with the comedy and the seriousness. But even when the gung ho guns show up, the following episode after that, like it's a comedy episode again, and then after that now it becomes pure serious. So it's kind of strange how like it just flip flop so much until I get to that certain point with Wolfwood, and then the rest of the gun ho guns with Legato knives.
Actually,
It's not a perfect series. That's the best way to put it. It's like I think the pacing is his greatest obstacle.
yeah, it's really is all over the place and uneven. How do you feel about Wolfwood in general? Because I know a lot of people like Wolfwood a lot and said him as the best. I don't want to reveal too many spoilers, but you know the twist with him and how his character resolves. Like, how did you feel about that? Because I thought it was like it came so quickly, and then he was kind of gone so quickly. I just didn't know. I didn't know how to completely take that when it happened. You know what I mean? Like there was
Mm-hmm.
some tragedy, but I felt like we should have known a little bit more about it. I don't know. Your thoughts? I don't know.
Like I wasn't really bothered by it. I was just more surprised than anything. So
Did you
I
think?
do admit that wasn't. I thought it was sad, yeah, because I mean the whole but I think it worked okay because I mean he killed a kid earlier, so
True.
I mean there was that whole shtick, and then he's kind of doubting himself as well. So, but yeah, I guess they could use more Wolfwood. I mean, if the series just started off like when Vash meets Wolfwood, and then have everything else start into motion with the gun ho guns, maybe that would have been a better way to start things off.
Well, but then again, I guess you could argue that one of the things that does define Trigun, I think personally, I mean, of course, this is usually the way it is, but I really like the darker, more serious, explorative stuff that Trigun does. I think that's the strongest
Uh-huh.
element of the series. And I think you'd probably agree. But I think when people think of Trigun and they think of Vash as a character, I think they think of it as a little more lighthearted and funny, because of those initial episodes. But that's really not even how
Hmm.
most of the series is, though. You know what I mean? I think the perception of it's a little off.
I suppose because I mean it is a series that kind of originated more as a comedy adventure, and then it becomes more of a philosophical story about pacifism and violence and just the overall like hero setting with the whole like you literally got the fate of the world on your hands because you're the only guy that can keep up with all these criminal gunslingers, and then knives obviously. I mean, because even though they were kind of hinting that Vash has some sort of bounty on his head, so he's a criminal for a reason. Like they kind of like leave you hanging for a while.
Well, it's funny because people are afraid of him, but I think who actually designated that bounty? Was there like a main city that did that? Because most of the towns,
It was.
I don't even seem to know what even he's wanted for. You know what I mean?
No one seems to know, but if I remember correctly, I
Was
want to
was
say
it
it
was
was.
it was it Knives that actually did that? Did
Think it
they?
was Nice who put. I'm not even sure if Nice was the one who put the literal bounty on him, but he was responsible for blowing up the whole city. Just, from controlling Bash's arm and that.
It's true. Yeah,
But
I know he was responsible, but I wondered like who pulled the strings. By the way, Knives does have like one of the best names ever.
I just can't help but think when they found him in the Ark, like who the hell thought of giving him that name?
Knives Millions. I mean, that
He'll be
sounds
good.
it sounds really cool until you like really think about it. He's as dangerous as a million knives, I guess.
I
Uh,
guess.
well, Legato Blue Summers is kind of a silly name. It makes me think of like somebody wearing some '70s Bluebell jeans or something. Like
No,
what? Blue Summers?
I don't
What?
know.
Scott
I don't know.
Summers?
Everyone has some ridiculous. Actually, the most ridiculous names are in Gungrave, man. Because I mean, there's because they are, man. There's some guys called My Name is Blood, My Name's War, and then you have like these mafia groups that are called Lightning and Volcano. I'm thinking those aren't mafia names.
That's not subtle at all. Gungrave's another show that I have very mixed feelings about too. Oh
I like
man.
Gungrave more than Trigun, though. That's the thing. But
Well, aren't they
I don't know.
supposed to be kind of in the same
That's somewhat. That's somewhat. Like
universe
that.
or something?
Yeah, because in the second game, there's more correlation with the Project Seeds
Ah, the
and
plants. Yeah.
yeah, the Project Seeds and all that. So there's still something, and there is a correlation between the two. It takes place like I forgot what years because I remember they literally gave a year, but I don't know.
Oh, you know. You know. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We can wrap this up for tonight. But if you have any final questions, let us know right there, and we'll try to answer them real quick. I know we haven't been paying as much attention, but that's because Hiro and I have not spoken in a couple weeks,
Maybe I don't know.
something like that. So I had to devote some time to the phantoms, if you will.
There was a question for you asking if you had any of the Dragon boxes.
I actually do not. I wanted to get some, but I just haven't gotten around to them. That's with the original Japanese audio, right? Cut.
Well, it has the English also, but it's basically like the best quality version of Dragon Ball Z that you can get anywhere.
I remember when that came out. That was a pretty big deal. Maybe I'll get them sometime. I actually would rather just probably. Well, is the original like Dragon Ball on Blu-ray anywhere? Because I was looking for it, and I don't know if it is.
Not over here. It's not.
Like I know that Z is, but I don't think the original Dragon Ball is. And I was thinking about maybe starting to build up my Blu-ray collection because I don't have any, or not many. And I was like, well, it'd be nice to start off if I get the whole thing, right? But of course, I can't because I guess I could just get all the blue boxes again. But I wanted to rewatch the King Piccolo arc, but just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Among the many things I have to do, I've got a lot of series I got to watch, and no time to watch them, and you know how it is. You know how it is. Yeah, he's not as jovial, but he is different in the manga. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. If you have any like questions or requests for videos to watch, leave them in the comments below. I'll see what I can do. But check us out on the Phantom group, and of course, subscribe to Hero here if you haven't. That's the Anime Hero or the Manly Anime Hero. He's got 2 channels. And say goodnight to you guys. Peace.